After the attack on Fort Sumter, Lincoln wanted a quick end to the South's rebellion. Tensions were rising due to slavery, expansion, and sectionalism. Lincoln called for volunteers for a 90-day service, and the Northerners rushed to enlist. The South slave states belonging to the Union at the time refused to fight against the Confederates. The first battle set the tone for the Civil War and showed the South was ready to put up a fight.
General Irvin McDowell, a Union general that led the Army of Northerners near the Creek of Bull Run against the Confederate soldiers. Although the Union Army was not adequately trained enough to go into battle yet, newly elected Abraham Lincoln gave them no other option. McDowell sent Daniel Tyler as a diversion for the Confederates so that the Union Army can surprise attack them. Little did McDowell know the Confederates were already waiting along the creek for them with orders from Thomas Stonewall Jackson. Stonewall, a Mexican-American war veteran, helped keep the Confederates in line and ready to fight. McDowell's opponent, Brigadier General P.G.T. Beauregard, had been assembling a strong army of Confederates since the spring and had already over 20,000 soldiers.
The Union, aiming to open way to Richmond, the Southern capital, set out to defeat the Confederates in hopes to end disputes. On July 16, 1861, General McDowell marched along with the Union to fight against the Confederate Army. He sent a group of troops as a diversion to Stone Bridge. Confederate Colonel Nathan Evans suspected this diversion, therefore redirecting troops to Matthews Hill to prepare for the real attack. The Union then attacked the Confederates at Matthews Hill on July 21st. The Confederate Army, under leadership of General Beauregard, was forced back to Henry Hill, where Thomas Jackson, along with reinforcements, put up a strong fight, earning him the name Stonewall Jackson. The battle, ending in victory for the Confederate troops, proved that this war would not be as short as they hoped it to be.
The battle ended with the North's retreat to Washington, D.C. Many Northerners were shocked by this defeat and wrote letters telling the events of the battle. Benjamin Ivy Scott served on the Union side. After the battle, he sent his mother a letter describing the good men he lost and how he and his men needed supplies. Despite winning the battle, the South failed to pursue the North's forces and use the victory to their advantage. In the end, the Union lost 3,000 men and the Confederates lost 1,750. When the Union returned to Washington, their general, Irwin McDowell, was replaced by George B. McClellan, who would completely retrain and reorganize the Union troops. Back in the South, Jefferson Davis and General Johnson Beauregard fought over whose fault it was that the North was not pursued. As a result of this battle, Lincoln called for 1 million more volunteers to serve 3 years.